What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another character showcase. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at Toxin in today's video, and I pretty much just wanted to take a look at him because we do have the discount right now for unequipping CTPs, and I was looking for characters that I don't really use much that I still had CTPs on, and Toxin came up when I was just browsing through the characters. I was like, why do I have a CTP of Rage on him? I don't remember ever really using him much, so I want to do a showcase on him and see if he's actually worth keeping this CTP of Rage on. I don't know if he was actually doing good damage with it, if he's actually a strong character or not. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. Let's go ahead and take a look at my build before we do that. As you can see here, we are maxed out on pretty much the stats that we need to be for the crit rate and dodge for our CTP of Rage. Everything else is just kind of... it could be worked on a little bit, like his physical attack and crit damage are two things that we could help him out with. But overall, this should give us a good idea on what he's going to be able to do. We've got just dodge Urus on there to max out that dodge for the CTP of Rage. All of his skills are leveled up. We have no type enhancements. We have a stage 6 overdrive for his isolate set. We have a random artifact on him that has justice to give him that little bit of boost. We already saw that we have the rage, and he has no uniform, which... maybe, I don't think he's going to be getting uniform anytime soon, though. But, I mean, next symbiote update, he's definitely going to be a candidate because he's, one of... well, there's quite a few now that don't have uniforms, right? Was there like 3 symbiotes that don't have uniforms? So, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's take a look at Toxin here and see how he performs. Alright, so here we are over at King. We're going to do stage 9 here to try out Toxin. It's going to be my new format for trying out characters, as I'm now going to be trying them out on King stage 9, and I'm going to try to use the exact same team so I can get like a better comparison of characters, like apples to apples basically. So I'm going to be using the same leadership and same support for each character, even if they can do, or they have a better team available to them, like for Toxin here. He has his own self-buffing leadership with 30% physical, so I could use his own leadership, get rid of Athena, and then use another support character with him. And he is a superhero, so I could even use Nick Fury as leadership instead, and Nick Fury gives his support as well. So definitely stronger options in terms of team building, but since I want to get a kind of level playing field for all my units here to kind of see how they perform against each other, to give me a better idea where they stack up in terms of my roster's power level, because everyone of course is going to have different cards or different builds on their characters and stuff like that, so it's not always going to be an even comparison for how my Toxin performs compared to yours. So I just want to see how he performs compared to my other characters. So with that out of the way, let's hop in, and I want to use all dodge ignore strikers every time I test out a character as well, to kind of ignore some of that pesky dodging that the boss might do, to get more of an idea of what their damage is going to look like. Alright, so Toxin. Let's see what he can do here. Alright, switch on over. Okay, I mean that wasn't bad for a first rotation there. Alright, so now let's see, is he going to be doing... let's see our awakening skill here. Okay, not bad. He's actually doing decent damage, at least compared to what I've been seeing my other level 70 characters do. Because level 80 makes such a big difference in War Boss Legend that it's hard to really compare him to like a level 80 character. So I kind of got to do that to the... that hurt. To the level 70 characters. We are taking damage, but luckily he's got the continuous heal, so that's actually really nice as well. Okay, he might be a little better than I give him credit for. So that took almost a minute. So it was like 55 seconds to get him to the first phase change, which is actually quite good for a level 70 character. At least in terms of like my account. I know a lot of you might see that and be like, that's really slow. Oops, it actually registered when I hit that 5th skill. Did not think it was going to. Yeah, so... I'm quite pleased with that, actually. I was expecting him to be quite outdated in terms of his damage now, but this is decent damage. I don't think he's going to have any chance at clearing this stage, but it is still decent damage compared to other level 70 characters. Okay. Yeah, so that gives me an idea for there. So that's going to be kind of my main test for War Boss Legend, but we'll still hop into a higher stage of Null and see, because where can we... Female... Oh, that'll work. Superhero and male. Can go down to a stage 20 then for him. Actually, I've been testing on like stage 25 recently for the females, so let's do a stage 24. That's really close. And, oh yeah, but we can't use the exact same team, so that's fine though. We'll just use him, and when I was doing the females, I think I was doing optimal teams. Where's our, like we could use you. Don't know if I want to go full on. Maybe we could just use Nick Fury's support like that. Yeah, let's just do... Actually, wait, I saw we have... we don't need to use Nick Fury. Let's just use him. Don't want to get the big support going. Do we have any dodge ignore strikers that work here? There's 2 dodge ignore strikers. Let's go in. Alright, so let's see how quickly we can get Null off the throne here for stage 24. Okay, not bad, not bad. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. It's just... Because which one of these is which? Yeah, so the first one is our rage. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't think so. Try to avoid that. Ghost Panther, or Ghost Rider, I mean, is going to get us snared there, of course. Because, of course, strikers count when they get hit. Ooh, okay, we're getting pretty close. Is that going to be enough? Not quite. Ow. One more rotation here. And there we go. Alright, so like a minute and 10 seconds, minute and 12 seconds, something like that. That's pretty acceptable. So he's performing better than I thought, because I feel like Toxin is a pretty old character now. And I wasn't really expecting him to be performing... Ah, no, the dang blade twisters, time frozen. What is this BS? Get out of here with all this. I'm trying to see his damage. It gets frozen in place for an entire rotation. It's not going to be enough to... Okay. I was mainly just checking right there if he was going to do enough damage to get him down to 22 bars. He definitely did not. I don't know. He's still looking pretty good to me. Interesting. Yeah, so now let's go ahead and hop over to Giant Boss Raid. So let's take him against Dormammu and see what he does over there. Alright, so here we are over at Dormammu. I'm going to use the same team that I was using against King, because like I said, I'm trying to normalize my results here a little bit. So yeah, let's see what Toxin does over here. So far I'm pretty happy with his results, but he's still going to be just like a slightly above average character, so he's not going to be pushing any of the stages for me. Oh yeah, I could have used my awakening skill. Whoops. But sometimes that is fine, especially since he is a physical damage leadership. There's not a ton of good leaderships for physical attack characters. So he could be a nice fallback for my, for a physical team. So if I'm bringing in somebody else as like the main DPS and then they happen to die, at least Toxin looks like he could pick up the slack here and probably finish out a stage for me. So he could be a good leadership with that fallback option of like a little safety net if my main DPS dies towards the end of the fight or something like that. So I do like that idea, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to keep this rage on him. Just because I am pretty happy with his performance so far. Or happy enough, like I said, to use him as like a secondary DPS if the main DPS happens to get knocked out. But yeah, he's looking a little slow here. So definitely showing his age here against Dormammu. Dormammu only cares pretty much about raw damage. He doesn't care about anything else. Because we do have type advantage. I mean, we're combat type, and he is speed. Would have liked to have been out of this by now. Like a minute and a half is where I would have been happy. Which he is not doing it in a minute and a half. He's doing it probably 2 minutes. Can we get him with this rotation right here? Come on, finish him off. Okay, cool. Did finish him with that rotation. So a minute and 55 seconds. So now I want to see hopefully a bar for a normal rotation here, but I have my doubts for that. Oh, we did get a bar. Okay, so his damage is good enough then. Alright. Actually, we got a little more than a bar, didn't we? So I am happy with that. What about the awakening skill? Wow, really now? Rage didn't activate after, what was that, like 500 hits or something? Are you kidding me? What was that BS? Like, that was pretty much the entire skill rotation and the entire awakening skill, and the rage did not activate. That is pretty unlucky. I don't think I've seen that very often. But yeah, his damage should be good enough to be able to beat Dormammu if you have a full team of like the same DPS. Like, so if I had two other characters that were doing a bar or a little more than a bar of damage each rotation, then we would have enough damage to take down Dormammu. But in terms of like solo, like if I kept going right now, I don't think he would have enough damage, or it'd be really close. It would probably take maybe the entire time, if not failing it. Yeah, I don't think he has enough damage to do it solo. Because I feel like you need to be doing 2 bars or like bar and like 70% of the next one or something with each rotation. But again, overall, I'm most surprised at the damage he was putting out, because I was really expecting him to be like an above or a below average character now. Alright, so not bad. So that is going to be Toxin. So let's go ahead and wrap this up now. Alright, so that was our little showcase here of Toxin with a CTP of Rage on. Again, he's not going to be anything that's going to help you like push high stages of War Boss Legend or get you any like quick clears in any of the game content, but he was doing just well enough with this Rage that I think I can find a use for him on some of my physical damage teams as a leadership with a fallback option of actually being able to do damage if I need it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much his place, unless you want to use him in like a stage of War Boss Legend that's probably like 60% of your max stage that you can do or something like that, maybe 50% of your max stage. He should be able to maybe perform there, but yeah, don't expect him to be performing in the top percentage there for your War Boss Legend. More of just a fun character if you just want to use a symbiote character. Yeah, so that is going to be a Toxin here. I do have room for improvement, of course, and if he ever gets a uniform, he's pretty set to be strong with the uniform, I think, unless for some reason they get rid of like his accumulation or do something weird, because that's the main thing probably why his damage is still at least somewhat relevant, is because he has accumulation. Accumulation makes such a big difference. So the uniform that gives him like a stat buff and maybe some more damage on each of his skills with that accumulation, he should be looking quite pretty. So hopefully he gets a uniform sometime. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.